Good morning, race fans. Today I will be ranking the weirdest Formula 1 driver merch. A while ago, I set out to find the worst item from every F1 team. So this time around, we're going to look at every driver's individual stores to try to find the weirdest, cringiest, and possibly the most bamboozling items. And at the end, I will be ranking all 22 drivers from least to most weird. However, if a driver doesn't have a merch store, then they are automatically out, DSQ'd, FIA check that plankware while you're at it. And if that's your fave, then I'm sorry, babe. Should have picked a better one. So with that out of the way, let's get started with... We're starting with Max because I've heard crazy things about his merch store, so I want to see if they hold up. And one of the first things I saw was the official Max Verstappen scarf. Wait, how is this a Max Verstappen scarf? What do you mean? It obviously says so right, hold on a sec. Right there. Duh. Yeah, right off the bat, this is kind of taking me to that Ferrari store, TBH. Ladies, do we think that this cap is actually like that? Or did they just forget to smooth out the wrinkles before they took the photo? Overall, the clothing section is pretty nice and well designed. We also have the kids section, which is just delightful. Like, look at this baby clothes set. It's adorable. Kids, are you even real Max Verstappen fans if you don't even have the Max Verstappen onesie and the Max Verstappen PJs? And that's not me saying that. That's them saying that. There's also the Max Verstappen lunchbox and cup if you want to be literally the coolest kid at your school or office. We don't judge. But if that's not really doing it for you, let's have a look at the gifts and accessories section, shall we? Because we have the Max Verstappen towel, the Max Verstappen glasses, so you can match them with the Red Bull glasses, of course. Max Verstappen bedding, which I think is also reversible, so that's sick. Official Red Bull blanket, and the Max Verstappen puzzle, which would drive me insane, I fear. But there are two items that are sadly not being sold anymore, and guys, they were the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, the Max Verstappen play rug, and our first winner of this video, the Max Verstappen shampoo and shower gel. I don't think you understand how sad I am that these no longer exist. Like, I'm not Max's biggest fan, but I'm also not immune to good marketing. Let's move on to our next driver, Sir Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis has his Plus 44 brand, and unfortunately it's all like really nice stuff, so I feel like I'm not really going to find anything great. I'm gonna cry now. That's just wonderful. I will say the drawing looks suspiciously AI generated, but I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. For Roscoe's sake. Anyway, all I could really find was this pretty ugly shirt, and also a collab with Takashi Murakami, and personally, I don't really like his art, so, yeah. Oh, this sucks. Learn to be more whimsical, Lewis. Franco Colapinto. I looked through Franco's website and he doesn't really seem to have any merch. He has digital collectible cards and some sick wallpapers that you can download. And to be fair, I think throughout this video we're gonna have to cut the rookies a bit of slack. I mean, I'm sure they're still getting their bearings around here. But I did find something pretty incredible. Hey, remember how Franco once told everybody to not buy official merch because it was overpriced and to buy fake merch instead?
No, lo único que espero es que no se fundan comprando estas boludeces, porque Williams le pone un precio que no lo puede comprar ni Cristiano Ronaldo y que compren las cosas truchas.
And people started actually doing it? To be honest, I don't know if this ever really left the Hispanic side of the F1 fandom, so maybe you should subscribe to my channel to find out about this kind of stuff. Well, it turns out Renault Esprit Alpine, of which Franco is an ambassador, made a website dedicated to that. And it's basically a bunch of designs that you can download so you can then make your own fake merch with it. And I'm sorry, if that isn't just the funniest thing an F1 driver has ever done, then I don't know what is. What an absolute power move, bro. Colapinto fans, if you ever want your own Franco merch but you can't design, I better not catch you making that with AI when you have an entire gallery right here. Punto. No le lloros. Isack Hadjar. We're in luck, boys, because Isack Hadjar just released his first merch line a few weeks ago. And of course, the store is called La Boutique. The collection is pretty small, but it does look very nice and well designed, so nice job, Isack. Yeah, please take me to the fun section. Because it's a small collection, there isn't a lot for us to go off of. So I'm going to say the weirdest item is the not one, but two t-shirts of Isack flexing. This one even says, oh god, he's flexing again. Is this like a thing that Isack is known for doing a lot? Like, I have no idea. I will say I might have to buy one of these because I love them. It's giving Senina, low-key. Think about it. Lando Norris. Naturally, Lando has all of his world champion stuff, which is definitely not overpriced at all. Like, I get it, it's about the prestige, but $54 for a t-shirt is crazy work. Again, we have a similar issue as with Lewis, where it seems like his team is allergic to making bad merch. Thankfully though, I did not have to look too far to find this absolute gem. I believed in Lando Norris WTC 2025 with the Brad font. To be honest, I think if I was a Lando stan, I would have bought this because I think it's pretty funny. Although, sorry to say, but the caption is corny as fuck. Also, how is the Brad meme not dead yet? It's been 2 years. By the way, before we move on, can I just take this moment to say, shout out to all the drivers who sell football scarves, because I love football scarves. I need all of us to make it a thing at the races, okay? Not you, Orange Army, you're doing fine, but the rest of us need to lock in. Esteban Ocon. Remember how I said great things about Ocon's website in that other video? Well, the store site looks like they just took the first template they saw and ran with it. In terms of the merch, it's pretty straightforward, just like a couple of hoodies here and there type of vibe. But here Esteban said, I gotta spice things up a little. I gotta differentiate myself. I'm gonna include my parents in the photos. Boom. What about that? I don't know what made him think that this would sell more merch, but it's honestly so adorable. Listen, I may not like Ocon so much as a driver, but the fact that he made it to F1 after all the sacrifices his parents needed to make never fails to bring a little tear to my eye, you know? In general, most of his merch is kind of mid though. Like, what is this word art ass font here? Who removed the background here? Fire them, Esty, fire them. However, I do love him posing like those sorority girls that do like sexy car washes in movies. Hey, remember Bear Tour? Turns out we also have Ocon Tour. And for the Brazilian Grand Prix, Oconzinho, which is really cute. Oh, finally a Miami t-shirt that's not super weird. Wait, what the fuck is that? But the worst product, in my opinion, is this sticker pack, which is just all the greatest hits of his worst designs. First of all, why are they all black and white? That is so boring. Put some color in there. I get why these are here, but that was a long time ago, man. And why do I need 5 iterations of the same sticker? 6, technically. I don't know. It's not that bad, but it just leaves a lot to be desired. Sorry, Esty. Carlos Sainz. Sadly, from what I could find, Carlos does not have any merch other than what's on the Williams page. Damn, who knew that some rookies would have better merch than a driver who's been 11 years in F1? I do want to mention though, this amazing piece of Williams merch, the world's fastest unicorn t-shirt. Unfortunately though, this is off the website now. Just like my beloved Williams cardigan. R.I.P. Sergio Perez. Obviously, we'll have to wait to see what merch he drops with Cadillac, but for now we can still go to his personal store. I'll just say that the self-glazing that's happening here is insane, by the way. Sergio Perez arrived to break paradigms. He put an end to decades without a Mexican driver in Formula 1, and after half a century, made the national anthem resound again on the podium of the highest category. Checo is the greatest legend of Mexican motorsport. Okay, buddy, we get it. The oddest thing I can find on this website as of right now is this shirt, which is a collab with a Mexican sportswear brand. And like, that's great, but what sport do you want me to wear this to exactly? Because I don't think a white shirt would be useful, nor stay white in like any of these. But what do I know? I just think it's ugly anyways. Lance Stroll. Turns out the merchandising button on Lance's website just takes you to the Aston Martin website. Ooh, that's cheating. So I think it's only fair that the weirdest product has to be the Lance Stroller. Sadly, this is no longer available on the Aston Martin website, but if we made an exception with Max, then we can make an exception here. By the way, did you know that Aston Martin also sells watches? And weirdly shaped whiskey decanters? They truly love collabing with the most random brands imaginable. Kimi Antonelli. Pfft, Kimi doesn't even have a website and you think he's gonna have merch? Be serious. George Russell also doesn't have any merch. His website just links you to the Mercedes store. George, get it together, bro. You have important customers. And since we're already going through these, Liam Lawson also doesn't have any merch. Or maybe he does, but for some reason I'm no longer able to access his website at all. What are you hiding in there, Liam? Damn, maybe my website video embarrassed him too much and he took it down. Nico Hülkenberg. Oh my god, finally a driver with a store. No! The website is completely empty. A few days ago, at least there was a singular helmet model, but now there's nothing. Nico, What the hell, man? You've been in F1 for over a decade. What a joke. Pierre Gasly. I know that Pierre has a lot of merch, so hopefully he'll save us from this drought. He has this golf apparel collection, which is called Bogey Gang. And guess what? He also has a Gasly Tour t-shirt. Okay, you guys really need to stop copying each other's homework. Eat pasta, drive faster, keyring is, something. I was going to say that my favorite item is this liked by Pierre Gasly cap, because I love when drivers know their own memes and own them. And actually my man got really into this meme, like really into it. But I think the funniest thing is that he has a graphic novel of his own career. And like if he was a world champion or something, that would make sense, but like, you're just a guy. Pierre, my brother in Christ, I love you, but your ego is visible from Neptune. Magic Alonso! The only thing that really pops up for Alonso is actually the gift shop from the Museo Fernando Alonso in Asturias. And folks, words cannot express the absolute treasure trove that is this site, but I'll just say I've never seen anything so beautifully outdated and chuggy and random. Literally name another driver that's selling gems such as Alonso cufflinks? Hello? Gentlemen, if you want to make them love you, this is what you need. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Official Fernando Alonso thimble, a neck gaiter with a radio quote, although sadly it's not even one of the funny ones, a sidra glass specifically, iconic as fuck if you ask me, and actual Fernando Alonso olive oil. What the fuck? This man is truly a gift that keeps on giving. I know my goat, Alex Albon. We already had a sneak peek at Albon's stuff last time out, like this really nice green collection. Listen, usually I like when drivers keep their merch pretty minimalist, but then there's Alex's Monaco collection, which is so minimalist you basically can't even tell it's merch, like at all. Like this might as well be from Target, you know? He has made a pair of sneakers, which is unusual enough, TBH. And then he has this merch line for some of his pets, and no wonder it's all sold out. It's literally the cutest thing ever, 10 out of 10. But I think the weirdest merch, and I guess we can argue whether this is or isn't merch, but also I can do whatever I want, is the official Alex Albon wine. Excuse me. Albon vino. I feel like it is very trendy for celebrities to make their own wines, so this feels pretty on brand for an F1 driver. I guess I just didn't expect it to be Alex, but I'll take it. Now, who would be the most likely driver to start a beer company? I answered my own question instantly. It's Valtteri Bottas. Moving on to Gabriel Bortoleto, who, as you probably expected, does not have any merch of his own. Which is sad because he has a lot of fans, but again, we're gonna cut him some slack. So let's go to the next one. Arvid Lindblad. And needless to say, Arvid also doesn't have any merch yet. What a surprise. So I thought instead we could look at the man he replaced, Yuki Tsunoda. Once again, we have the classic minimalist look. I appreciate that he offers every design in like 5 different colors. Very thoughtful. These sweatpants feel extremely on brand for Yuki, by the way. I'm sorry, I can't with these translations again. Thickness of thing? I think probably the most random thing on this site is this adorable Yuki Tsunoda AirPods case. It's honestly a pretty clever idea, like, actually, yeah, I would buy an AirPods case of my favorite F1 drivers. Although, he's never beating the performative male allegations like this. Charles Leclerc. I'm sure a lot of you might remember that Charles actually released his first ever merch collection last season. And as you might expect, the whole thing is very nicely curated and designed. However, it's also really fucking expensive. Like, take a guess how much this shirt costs. Plain cotton, gray, logo barely visible. Just guess. Okay, that's enough time. If you said, okay, Lando was selling t-shirts at like $54, so this will probably be even more overpriced, so I'm gonna say $69.99, then you're correct. It is more overpriced, but you're also wrong. It's actually $83. Ah, yes, a keychain for your keys. Move aside, Yuki. He's the performative male final boss. Also, oh my god, this scarf is so cute. Like, I'm not even a Leclerc fan, but if I had $176, I would totally buy it. I guess the most interesting thing in this collection is the dog sweater, technically, but like, is it really that weird? I mean, we know this guy's obsessed with his dog. This wasn't interesting enough for me, so I thought, what else does Leclerc sell? That's right, for those of you who don't know, let me introduce you to Lec ice cream. And the whole point of it is that it has fewer calories and also protein, I guess. So it's like healthy ice cream whatever that means. I think in some European countries, they sell it at the supermarkets, so if you live in any of these, then please try to find it and let me know if they're good, because I'm so curious. I just wonder if they sell it at the Leclerc supermarket. I'll be here all week. Oscar Piastri. Surprisingly, Oscar does sell his own merch. I kind of assumed that he wouldn't care enough to sell some. Overall, I like the design because it's mostly very normal, like stuff any well-dressed person would wear on the street, like just nice. I feel like usually Oscar dresses worse than this actually. He has this Texas collection and I love it because it just looks like they downloaded the graphics from the internet and just snuck an OP81 in there. Okay, wait. This jacket actually fucking rules. There's actually nothing super weird around here, which is maybe not surprising actually. So for me, I guess the worst things are another horrendous sticker pack, whatever these pants are, yikes. And I guess the most random, this crossbody bag. Very Australian though. Ollie Bearman. Our second to last driver left is Ollie, and folks, I've got a very good feeling about this. Okay, right off the bat, I love it here. This is how you make a sticker pack. Take some notes, Esteban. The way the Italy sticker says ciao. Ollie, you need to stop being so funny. They will fire you. He even has a mascot teddy bear named Obby. I'm literally gonna cry. I love him so much. Okay, turns out Ollie doesn't actually have that much merch at all. So unfortunately, he will probably end up as a back marker in the ranking. That's what you get for being so cool and nice and amazing and adorable. And so, last but certainly not least, let's see if our last driver, the one and only Valtteri Bottas, can give us something weird to end with. But I don't just want to talk about the nude calendar because that's old and I feel like everybody knows about it already, so it kind of feels like cheating. I had to find something else, and what I found was an absolute gem. Apparently, Bottas is above selling merch like all these other losers. He's selling experiences. He has this entire website where he sells super luxury trips to Finland to stay in his fancy Airbnb and drive snowmobiles, and also a VIP package to any Grand Prix of your choice to stay with his hospitality team and have private dinners with him and his partner. Genuinely, what is going on here? Honestly, this was so weird to me that for a second I genuinely thought it was some kind of scam, but Bottas seems to have at least tweeted about it back in 2023, so I guess it's real. And even now on his Twitter, he has a link to a website to rent rooms in some Australian valley that he owns residences in? What is this, Valtteri? Are you just bored? Are you lonely and you want some people to give you and your girlfriend company? Like, what's going on, man? I would call and try to find out if it's still a thing, but I'm too shy to do that, so someone else can do that and report back, please. Anyway, I trusted this man to give us something funny, and I literally can't think of anything funnier to end this video. Valtteri, my king. So, here's how the final ranking shakes up. Disqualified drivers are Carlos Sainz, Kimi Antonelli, Nico Hülkenberg, George Russell, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Arvid Lindblad. And Liam Lawson. I can't believe I forgot about him. My bad. And for the ranking, in P15 we have Hamilton, because his merch was just really nice and therefore really boring. And tied with Lewis, I'm also going to add Ollie Bearman, because I forgot about him as well. Whoopsies. In P14 we have Ocon with that ugly sticker pack. In P13 we have Piastri with the crossbody bag. In P12 we have Perez with the ugly shirt. In P11 we have the Albon wine. In P10 we have Hadjar with the 2 t-shirts of him flexing. In P9 we have Tsunoda with the AirPods case. In P8 we have Norris with the I Believe in Lando Norris WDC t-shirt. In P8 we have Leclerc with Lec ice cream. In P6 we have Pierre Gasly with his graphic novel, which is really cute, but I think if you're not a world champion, it's crazy work. In P5 we have Stroll with the Lance Stroller. In all fairness, he should technically be disqualified because it's not actually his own merch, but I'm going to make an exception here because I just think the Lance Stroller is too funny to pass up. In P4 we have Colapinto with his DIY fake merch. And now for our podium. In P3 we have Max Verstappen with his official shampoo. In P2 we have Valtteri Bottas with his private luxury travel experiences. And in P1 we have Fernando Alonso with his everything, basically. My goat has done it once again, La 33, come on! There is 0% bias here, by the way. I definitely did not rig this so that Alonso would win. Definitely not. I'm just saying, it's not that easy to beat the most veteran driver, you know? But that's gonna be all for my ranking of the weirdest F1 driver merch. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with my content. Stay fueled, and Yeah, go ahead and comment about the broken window. I don't even care at this point.